Welcome to Champion Minded, the podcast for those who aim for excellence, not only in the sports arena, but in life. My name is Allistair, author, speaker, mindset and performance coach, and my goal is to help you unleash your unlimited potential and provide you with the tools to achieve greatness. Are you ready to become champion minded? Then let's do this. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Champion Minded podcast, or welcome back to it. I'm Allistair McCaw. It is so good to be back on the podcast again. My apologies. I know it's been a while since I recorded the last episode. Things have been pretty hectic. Also, very, very thankful that things are starting to open up a little bit around the world. We're allowed to travel a little bit more. I was at the World Coaches Conference, the USPTA World Coaches Conference 2 or 3 weeks ago in Las Vegas, which was so cool to be around people again. I mean, you guys, especially you guys in teams, how awesome is it to be back with teammates, to be maybe traveling, competing, the things that we maybe took for granted before COVID happened, obviously, as well. So, but in this episode, by popular demand, I'm going to be sharing with you the 7 habits of a champion-minded athlete. I encourage you to take down notes because this is going to be a good one, and I know it's going to be very, very helpful to your game. So you ready? Here's number 1. A champion-minded athlete accepts they're not going to perform to their greatest expectations or at their highest level every time they compete. They still compete with a great attitude and give their best effort. Now, one conversation I remember having at the beginning of the year on this podcast, the Champion Minded podcast, was with the coach of Roger Federer, Ivan Lubicic. And I remember him saying is that even the champions like Roger, like Rory McIlroy or Serena Williams, they don't wake up every morning feeling great. But this is the thing that separates the good from the great, is that they're able to still give their best effort. They're still able to bring a good attitude even when things aren't going their way. And trust me, to win a Grand Slam of 7 matches, to win a major of having 4 days in a row, there is going to be 1 or 2 less matches, 1 or 2 less days where you're feeling your best or playing your best. But this is what the best are able to do, is they're able to have consistency. They have consistency in their behaviors, their attitude, their effort. And let me ask you this question, do you have that? Because that is what separates the good from the great. It doesn't matter what you do once in a while, it matters what you do all the time. And one of my favorite quotes is, the average do it sometimes, the good do it most of the time, the great do it all of the time. So can you still perform at a high level even when you aren't feeling your best, playing your best, competing your best? Number 2. A champion-minded athlete understands that success does not lie in a one-off win or an occasional brilliant moment. Consistent performance at a high level leads to success. So it's important not to get too down about 1 or 2 bad results, guys. It's important to, and this is why I love journaling, is after a match, write down what you did well, write down what could have been better. Because every match, every competition should be a learning point for you, okay? It should be a lesson for you. What are you taking from, not just the losses, but what are you taking from the wins? What would I do next time against that opponent, for example? Remember that every practice, every match, in fact, every day, there's something to learn and grow from. That is what it means to have a growth mindset, is that you're learning from every experience that you have on a daily basis. Number 3, a champion-minded athlete gives their best effort bolstered by self-belief even on the bad days. So again, that question, how good are you on your bad days? How good are your behaviors? How good is your self-talk? And I've seen it so many times, really good athletes that don't go to that next level. It doesn't matter what level they're at. I'm just talking about the next level, because of self-defeating self-talk, poor energy, it's not going their way. Guys, if you can overcome this one thing of still being able to stay positive and optimistic when you're not playing your best, you are going to go to that next level. When performing at a subpar level, champion-minded athletes do not abandon hope of winning or slack off in their effort to find a way to win. They're always pushing. How many times have you heard of someone coming back from the brink of defeat? So many times. Why? Because they kept playing, they kept competing, they kept believing. This is what I've seen in the best athletes, in the best teams, is that no matter what the score is, no matter what the circumstances is, they never give up. They keep competing hard. That is what defines a great culture. So what about you? Is that you? Is that your team? If not, why not? Number 4, a champion-minded athlete does not compare their journey to anyone else's journey. They focus on the process and they are diligent in their daily routines. So what that's saying is champion-minded athletes focus on what they're doing today, right? They win the day. They tick off all those boxes of all the small little things they should be doing today, all the good habits that all compile up to future successful results. So what matters is what you're doing today. When you put your head on the pillow, if you can say to yourself, you know what? I won today. I had a good practice. I had a good warm-up. I was there on time. I did some extra things afterwards. I had a good stretch. I had a good roll. My nutrition was good today. If you can tick those things off, you win the day. You know what winning the day does? It builds confidence. Again, that's why it's so good to journal. Write down your thoughts. Here's a tip, athletes. If you want to build your confidence, journal and write down what you did well on a daily basis. Write it down. Even give yourself a score for your attitude that day, your body language that day, your self-talk that day. You know, when you see these things, you recognize the positives that are going on in your life. Number 5, a champion-minded athlete rises above obstacles. They're resilient and resourceful in the face of adversity. Rather than making excuses, they use their energy to find solutions. Yes, successful people find solutions. Unsuccessful people hang around the problem. They blame, they complain. It's never their fault. Okay? Successful people step up. They take responsibility. They take accountability. They take the blame. That is why they are eventually successful, because they're willing to do that. They're resilient. They build grit. They invite adversity. What about you? When the things get tough and they're not going your way, what do? Do you crumble or do you step up to it? Number 6, a champion-minded athlete controls the controllables. They are not derailed by circumstances out of their control, such as an opponent's bad behavior, an official's bad call, a spectator's bad etiquette, a teammate's poor performance, or changes in the weather. They control what they can control, and it's important to know that. Can you control bad calls? Can you control the weather? No, you can't, but you can control how you're going to think about that. You know, I've seen so many times athletes come off the field or come off the court and they're blaming the umpire, they're blaming the weather, they're blaming their strings, they're blaming their shoes, all these things. You know, athletes, that's not a champion-minded mindset. It's when you can step up and take accountability for your performances and control the controllables. Awesome. Number 7, a champion-minded athlete knows that not all wins are going to be pretty, but they are willing to win ugly. They don't give up just because they're having a bad day. So my question to you is, how are you on the bad days? Can you win ugly? Can you still perform and give your best effort when things aren't going your way? These are the things that take you from good to great. And guys, while we're on this subject, if you're on a team and things aren't going your way, you're acting negative, you're putting a bad energy out there, then you know what? That's selfish. That's all about you then. Remember that your energy is contagious. So the energy you have, the energy you give is going to play a big part in the performance of those around you. So become a great team player. Even if it's not going your way, believe me, you'll have teammates that'll support you and you'll do the same for them. But energy is contagious. Never forget that. So a recap of those 7 habits of a champion-minded athlete. A champion-minded athletes accept that they're not going to perform to their greatest expectations or higher level every time they compete, but they still compete with a great effort. Number 2, they understand that success does not lie in a one-off win or an occasional brilliant moment. They look at consistency. Number 3, a champion-minded athlete always gives their best effort, bolstered by self-belief even on the bad days. Number 4, they do not compare their journey to anyone else. Number 5, they rise above obstacles, they build resilience. Number 6, they control the controllables. And number 7, they can win ugly. So thanks so much, guys, for listening. I hope you enjoyed that one. I also hope that you took down some notes. And if you don't have a journal yet, get one, okay? As always, this podcast is available on YouTube, iTunes, Amazon Podcasts, and via my website, allistairmccaw.com. Thanks so much to all of you who share this podcast, who share some posts on social media as well. I'm on Twitter, @AllistairMcCaw. Facebook, Allistair McCaw page, and on Instagram, Be Champion Minded. So until next time, remember you were made for greatness. Now go do the work. Stay champion minded.